What's the deal, people? Thank you all for joining me once again. Just picking up where we left off last night. It's Legends Week. Got my man RASHEED Brokenborough from University City, man. Mid 90s era, which is my era. So tonight's definitely going to be special. If you were tuned in last night and I saw Mo Howard, you definitely know that was definitely a treat last night. That full interview with Mo Howard is on the YouTube channel right now. So just go to Raw Sports Films YouTube, and you can watch that entire interview. But right now on deck, we got my man RASHEED Brokenborough, one of the top lefty guards of the mid 90s. Had a great career, University City, Public League, Philly, Temple, and beyond, man. So we're going to get on with my man Shee as soon as he sends me the request. And we're going to, talk some more Pennsylvania, Philadelphia hoop history, man. Let me see here. There we go. My brother.
Big Sar, what's going on, man?
Always blessed, man. Good to be here with you finally, man. This is long overdue, man.
Yeah, definitely.
How's everything going for you these days, man?
Yeah, everything going good. Yeah, everything going great. Yep.
That's what's up, man. So right off the top, man, just want to thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for sitting down with me, man. Finally, allow me to pick your brain, just to kind of reminisce and talk about back in the day, man, and your history, your hoop journey. One, just because that's just what I love to do, but two, to educate the younger generation. And also what I love to do, you see, I love the old school. I love archives. I love, preserving our hoop culture here in Pennsylvania, man. So this is me giving you your flowers. While you're here, just paying homage to you, man. A legend, Philly legend, Pennsylvania legend, a national legend. And just want to talk about all your accomplishments and just do my part to preserve your legacy, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Definitely.
No doubt. So real quick, we're just gonna get into a thing I call 10 random questions. I'm gonna just throw out 10 random things to you, then we're gonna get into some serious questions. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So growing up, you grew up, you graduated 95, right? 95, 96.
Yeah. 95.
Right, we both class 95. So your era is my era. Very special. All right. So favorite cartoons growing up, Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s.
The Smurfs.
The Smurfs.
The Smurfs. Yeah.
No doubt. Summertime cookout. What's on your plate?
I'm from West Philly, so yeah, the Plateau. Fairmount Park, yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, growing up, that's where we did a lot of the cookouts at.
No doubt. So what's on your plate? What was you eating at the cookout?
I'm back. Oh yeah, definitely. Hamburgers. I'm more hamburgers. Some potato salad. Hot sausages, probably something like that.
No doubt. What food do you absolutely hate? Like something that you will never eat, never have, never will.
I hate tomatoes. Like I can't eat tomatoes for some reason, and it's so crazy because and I used to hate mayonnaise, but after I got older, I can eat mayonnaise now. But tomatoes, I can't do it.
No doubt. Okay, our era, mid 90s, 93, 94, 95, 96. What were some other players besides yourself and besides your teammates that you respected? Some players that you liked in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania together, the suburbs and everything. Some couple players that you like watching.
Yeah, Fred Ward was a guy that I like watching. That's really good. Don't get a lot of homage. He really can go. He was from the bottom. Of course, Lindgren were guys I love watching. Julian Dunkley, like he was one of the guys who was like the first 6'10" guy back then that we seen that can like dribble, shoot, outside, inside. I love Mike Jordan. He was real. He played hard every minute. Will Chavis, there was guys I liked. Howard Brown was good. He can go.
Sound, no doubt. 95.
Really good. Newt Arnold was really good. Andre Howard, guys like that. Terrell Stokes. There's a whole lot of guys, man.
No doubt. Pretty much everybody.
Brad Towns, that was the guy who I looked up to. Yeah, growing up. The first.
No doubt. So everybody, shot the balled up piece of paper into the trash can. when you was a young guy shooting the ball a piece of paper into the trash can, what names was you shouting out? You know, Jordan. You know, who were some of the NBA guys, some of the pros that you looked up to back in the day?
Yeah, yeah, it was Jordan. Jordan, like I always looked up to guys that was undersized two guards too, like Rashard Leonard, uh, not Rashard Leonard, the guy who played for Miami. I forgot his name. Yeah, I think it's Leonard. Randolph Childress.
Yep, yep.
I was like that. But it was always Jordan. Jordan, every time he played, I always went outside and try to implement certain moves. Yeah.
No doubt. Who inspired you? Not basketball related, just someone in life, someone that inspired you coming up.
Grandma. Yeah, my grandma inspired me coming up. You know what I mean? I was raised in a house with 12 people. And for her to just hold everything down and not have a job and made sure that we had 3 meals on the table, made sure that anything I need in terms of basketball shoes, she provided. But that was somebody I really looked up to.
No doubt. What was your favorite country? You know, you played professional basketball. What was your favorite country that you played in? Maybe not favorite, just some place that you really adored when you were there besides basketball, just being in that country.
Yeah, I had a lot of favorite countries. Austria, I say that's probably one of my favorite because that was the country I was actually in the longest. But Turkey was a great country to me. Israel was good. And I'll say Italy and Spain. That was my favorite countries, yeah.
Got you. 94, 95, you know, you had your Sony Walkman, your headphones. Who were you listening to?
I've always been a Kiss, Fab guy, always. I'm to this day, like, yeah. I like guys who's like real witty that can put words together. So like Kiss.
Bars.
Yeah, bars. Yeah.
Everybody watched wrestling growing up in the 80s. Who were some of your who was one of your favorite WWF wrestlers back in the day?
Junkyard Dog.
JYD, no doubt.
Junkyard Dog. That was my favorite back in the day.
No doubt. Last question. The Last Dance. You've been paying attention to the series. Have you checked it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's one thing that kind of stuck out to you? Either something new that you learned, or just something that stuck out to you during that series?
I think a lot of the behind the scenes thing with Michael Jordan. I mean, you heard a lot about him, but for him to actually be speaking and confirming a lot of things that happened, you heard about the fight with Steve Kerr, you heard about the gambling problem. So for him to actually come out and talk about it, what he went through when his dad died, I think that's what stood out to me. Yeah,
no doubt. All right, man. I interviewed Mo Howard last night, and my perspective and my approach with you legends and individuals like yourself, man, I don't want to shortchange. I don't want to pigeonhole you just being able to be free telling your story. I have questions, obviously, but I just want to give you the freedom just to kind of talk. Because everything that you say to me is valuable. I appreciate everything you want to say. So I'm just give you the opportunity just to talk, and then I'll fill in the blanks toward the end. I'll ask questions when necessary. So if that's comfortable for you, I just want to pay you that respect and just let you talk. And the first question that I'll ask, just to kind of get you, get your wheels turning, get you started, is like, introduce yourself, man, and just tell us where it all started, man.
Yeah, it started in West Philly. This place is called the Bottom. That's when I started playing basketball. I think basketball was like more of a way of release to me, just to get out the house. You know what I mean? Just being around a lot of people all the time. I just went to the basketball court all the time, and I was fortunate to have a rec center right as soon as I walked out the door. You know what I mean? 34th Street, the gym, Mantua Rec Center was something that I played in every day, and was able to tune my skills and become a better basketball player. But basketball was not passed down to me. Like, usually you have a father or somebody in your family that plays sports. Like, nobody in my family played sports. No one ever played, high school, college. So it was just something I just did a lot and just became good at.
Yeah. So where did that drive come from? If you didn't have your pop, come on, we're going to go work out. We're going to the gym. Where did your internal love for the game come from, you think? Or was it just like you said, just having the gym right there, access to the gym, what was it for you?
The neighborhood, yeah. I mean, I had a lot of guys around there that really played basketball, like from sun up to sundown. Like we had a lot of ballers from down there. Like we had Fred Ward, we had the Craig Wise, and Jarrett. We had Will Chavis, Hakeem Ward. Like we had guys. I'm talking about everybody in a 1 or 2 block radius, and they every day, like Monday, Friday, every day. And I think that made me a lot better too, just playing against them all the time.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What other sports did you encounter coming up? Was it just basketball? Was
Yeah,
did you play some
it was just
baseball,
basketball.
football?
Play some two-hand tag football here and there, but basketball, that was it. Yeah, back then I was probably 160. 60 going to Temple. There's no way I was playing football, man. I thought I would have probably been a good wide receiver, but that was not something that we played,
No doubt. What do you remember the point where you fell in love with basketball and said, you know what, I really love this? And do you remember the part where you realized you were pretty good or better than your peers? Like, tell me about the love when that came, and then when you realized, what I mean, you were solid.
Uh, it's funny because somebody always notice something you good before you notice it.
Yeah.
I was hearing from a lot of people like, yo, you really got a chance to be good, and you really don't take an account that. But and also come from University City, like in a public league, you had so many people scoring a lot of points, but don't mean they was good. You know what I mean? With guys who had 4 guys on their team that really wasn't basketball players, probably went to Masterman or Furness or something, and just averaged 40.
Yeah.
And University City is not a basketball school. You don't have coaches coming there to see players.
Got you.
It's crazy because Temple found out about me in another city. They didn't even know I was from Philly.
Wow, what? Yeah. Wait, how that happen?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that. If you want to talk about it now, but we'll talk about that either way. But
yeah,
just go.
So I just think over the years, I just start scoring a lot of points. It's like, yo, I got a chance to actually go to Division I. And then when I got on the AAU circuit, that's when I thought, playing against better talent, that's when I knew that I was really good.
No doubt. Talking about developing, that word you use, that leads me to the next question. How did and this is good for the younger players that are watching right now. It seems like the blueprint these days to kind of get ahead, you got to get your trainers. You got to have all the trainers. You got to be the skills and drills like all day, every day. You got to do AAU. How did, coming up down the bottom, how did you develop? Like, did you have a trainer, or was it just you balling sun up to sundown, learning from the older guys? Like, what was your formula?
Yeah, I never had a trainer. Yeah, I never in my life had a trainer. And you could tell by my game. My game was very, very unorthodox. I shot, even up to Temple, they wouldn't change it. So I'm sure if I had a trainer, my mechanics and everything would have been a little bit different. But, a lot of coaches said, we're just going to keep it like it is because you're getting a lot of success that way. But with me, it was just repetition and just playing every day and really just taking the game serious, knowing like if I wanted to get out of my situation, this was going to be it. So I just took it. I took it serious, and I played the game every day. I never missed a day playing. And then I went a lot of places to play. I was at Almore. I was all over, just trying to find a run. But I think, I don't. I'm sure a trainer can help some players, but it's something you got to have inside. You got to really have a dedication. You know what I mean? Because when you train, the same amount of players is training with you. Like, what are you doing when you're not with that trainer? What's the work you by yourself?
Yep.
And it's people working out 6, 7, 8 hours a day just to be an average basketball player.
No doubt.
Great. It's more than that's having a trainer. Like it's a certain thing you got to have inside you to be good.
No doubt. And you just one thing that I really appreciate you saying, like you talked about your game being unorthodox. Did you know it was unorthodox at the time, or that was just the way you play? You just realized that later in life, or when did you realize that?
I knew it was unorthodox because I was left-handed and wasn't a lot of left-handed people.
Yeah.
But then just saying like the mechanics and everything was off, and no one ever taught me how to shoot. Like it was just me just doing it over and over again. But I knew the mechanics was off once I seen other left-hand people. When I seen how perfect Lynn Greer form was, I said, "Oh, something different, something different about my shot. Why am I don't look?" I knew something wasn't right. Yeah, but I just didn't want to change it.
No doubt, no doubt. And I guess just like you said, the repetition, even if it's a bad habit and it's working, just like the repetition of it, it works for you. It's working for you.
Muscle memory. The more you keep shooting
exactly.
and doing repeatedly over and over again, eventually it'll work out. Yeah.
100%. All right, now tell me about. Let's just relive some memories, some playground, hoop memories, some league memories. What's some of your memories, man, from the courts you played in, gyms? Just relive it, man.
I had one memory, and we actually went to the Chester prison to play against the prisoner. I don't know who set this up. It was a brand new facility, a brand new gym. We was able to get in there and play against the prisoner, and that
Hey, real quick, one pause. We got Mike Jordan in here. We got Mike Jordan in the building.
That's my guy.
Yeah, and we got my little bro Marcus Green in the building. We got some fellow legends in the
That's
building.
my guy. They're my guys right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
We went to the prison in Chester, and that atmosphere was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy because like the rules, what they were saying on the side, and after that I gained a lot of respect. I mean, a lot of us when we went there. I mean, we ended up because it was hostile. It was a hostile environment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
what what age? What grade were you in?
I wasn't even at Temple then. So this was before I was in high school. I think when I did that. Yeah, I don't know who was on the team with me either. Yeah, but I really wasn't. I did a lot of. I remember playing with Kobe and Joe Brown on the same team for Aku. I don't know if you know Ku.
Probably if I see his face or hear some more things.
Yeah. Sure. So this was on 40th and Gerard.
Was that in a league or in a tournament? This was
just a regular outside league. Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember that game and me really just getting the first eye of Kobe and how good he was in 9th grade when he had the big knee pads on and athletic, but he just could shoot and all that. That was a fine memory that I have too, and a lot of memories just playing at 34th and Haverford. Yeah.
So tell me about some things. One thing you'll never forget about 34th and Haverford, and what that did for your game, being playing down there.
It was a guy named Mr. Wright, James Wright, rest in peace. He was a guy who ran the gym, and just that, everything he did for all of the young kids there in the neighborhood, making sure that he kept the gym open past hours, came in early, came in late, and just made sure that we was able to work out and stay out of trouble. I always remember that. They actually him after him now. Yeah.
Gotcha. Who were some of the toughest players you came up playing against in leagues? And just rec league, not even leagues, just pick up ball, all through the city. Some of the toughest matchups you had, you think back then?
It's a lot. Newt Arnold was tough. RASHEED, he was tough. Dunkley was tough. He was tough to stick. Malik Moore. Rel Stokes was pretty good, great defender. It's a lot, man. Lawrence Pembroke was tough back then.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. One thing that we have in common, I'm not sure if you remember this, but I've always cherished this memory and held it. Like every time I would see you or hear about you, my mind will automatically go back to this. A legendary little outdoor rec league that was out in the suburbs, but it was legendary. Players came through there. Was the joint out at the Shack in Ardmore?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember, but I played against you, and we guarded each other at the Shack in the outdoor league. I think my claim to fame, because I was like, oh man, I'm playing against Brookenborough, that was my claim to fame.
Yeah.
I think I had like 15 points and 14 rebounds that game. But I just remember you, correct me if I'm wrong, I just have a memory. Would you play with one sleeve? Like you would cut one sleeve off of your T-shirt?
Yeah.
I think I remember you with one sleeve and then one sleeve off and just getting busy, quiet. I don't think you said a word during the game.
Mm-hmm.
You was just giving out buckets, man. So just talk about the Shack League and the little outdoor Ardmore league.
League. Yeah, obviously, my family is from Ardmore.
Okay.
Like, the Brokenboroughs, actually, my cousin Michael, he still have a church up there. So it's a lot of Brokenboroughs live up in Ardmore.
Got you.
So that's why a lot of times I was up there in that neighborhood. But that Shack League, what I do remember, they had some dudes from Norristown that got busy.
Yeah, that's all my family.
Yo,
Harry Allen, my god brother, Derek Perry, Alfonso Dalton. Yeah.
Those fools got busy. I remember there was, I think, a little couple years older than me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Just coming from the city, when you step out the city, I ain't really run into a lot of players. Them Bulls was good.
Yeah.
That's the first memory I have from that league, how good they was.
Yeah, they was blowing that. Funny you said that. Other guy brothers, Derek Perry, that played on that team. Their team.
That's another name I remember. Yep,
Derek Perry. Yep, he went to. They all went to after high school. After Norristown High, they all went to a junior college in New Mexico, and then Harry wound up at Memphis.
Yeah,
and when Cedric was there, like before Lorenzo Wright, and then Derek Perry went to Ryder when Charles Smith was there.
Wow.
And all that. But DP Derek Perry sent me some clippings, some newspaper clippings from then. And it had the box scores. I'm gonna text them to you after this interview. It got your couple of box scores from the Shaq League. They was blowing people out.
Wow.
For sure. So let's talk about high school. Let's talk about University City, man. Did you go to University City all your years, or you came from somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, it was just neighborhood school. You know what I mean? I'm from Philly. That was the neighborhood school that I was assigned to go to, and that's what I ended up at. Yeah.
So who were some of your? Let's start with some of your teammates and the coach you played for there.
I played for Steve Kane. Was my guy. Actually, he's the oldest spin instructor right now, probably in the world.
Wow.
He's still teaching spin class.
Wow.
Right now at age 80 something. I go check out some of his classes. Rondell Turner was one of my teammates before he got up and left and went to Gratz.
Rondell Turner, bump. Yep.
Yeah.
That's my man. He used to come up to Norristown, and he was friends with one of my homies in Norristown, Rondell was. Yep.
He left. Alfonso Wilson, Fuzz, Chop Harris. We had who else? Chop Harris, Alfonso Wilson, Billy Shee, one of my guys. Sekou Clark. My point guard was Feast from South Philly. That was really good. And that's about it.
No doubt. And you and Rondell, a notable name, especially when he went to Gratz. I guess claim to fame is he came off the bench and he led the team in scoring and all that. Yeah. But where were you grade wise when Rondell Turner was at University City? Was he a couple years older? He was a couple years older, or no? Am I saying?
Yeah. I was in 9th grade when we played together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was what grade was he in?
He was in 11th.
Okay, so 2-year difference. Gotcha.
So what happened was Rondell actually left University City and moved to Jersey and went to a school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he moved with a sponsor, some guy. He supposed to went to a school in Jersey.
Oh.
It didn't work out, and they wouldn't let him back in University City. So he ended up.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So he could have possibly just came back home, came back to University City.
Yeah, they wouldn't take him back. Yeah, after he left.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. I did not know that. So some memorable games, man. What are some memorable games that you remember from your University City days?
Always the last game I played there, Simon Gratz. The game before that, Ben Franklin was a memorable game because we was down 22-23 at halftime, and we ended up coming back and making it to the finals.
Wow.
In a Final Four. When I scored my 1,000 points, that was a memorable game at Albany. That was a game. My first dunk when I was in 9th grade was a game I always remember.
When was that? What game? Who was that against?
We played against Bartram.
Against Bartram?
Yeah. And I was going for a layup, and somehow it just turned it over. And I
turned it over.
And that was a big thing, dunking in 9th grade. You know what I mean? That was big. 45 points against I think Germantown High was a big game I remember too.
And what grade was that in, the 45-point game?
I think 11th. Yeah.
11th grade.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What was your style of play? What type of, for the people who don't know, what type of player were you back then? And what were some of your, what was your go-to? What type, describe the type of player you were.
I think I was more like a transition type player. I like getting up and down, more catch and shoot, but more just filling the lanes and just breaking down defenders and filling the lanes and getting out on the wing. That was like my what is my best attributes as a player, I think.
Yeah. What were some of the public league or rivals for University City back then, during the regular season, not even playoffs? Some big, rivalry games that was packed that people look forward to.
Yeah, Strawberry Mansion was always a rivalry game. West Philly High, Overbrook, they was usually the rivalry games. We always within different, but always the West Philly schools, West Philly and Overbrook.
And who were some of the players that you were going against then at them schools?
Naeem Crenshaw, Andre Howard, Lawrence Pembroke. That was like usually the main players that I remember. That was pretty good.
Gotcha. And you played in a public league championship, correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And did you guys win that or lost that?
We won by 1 point. It was 44-43.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a low scoring game. I didn't play my best, but and they had a chance to win it at the buzzer. Eric Hood got a rebound off a free throw and just missed the layup. It just went out.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was University City first championship ever.
Wow. So talking about the championships, last time I saw you, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was down at the Catholic League Championship down at Palestra. Like, put in perspective for the younger generation, like the pub doesn't, in my perspective, I could be wrong, but just from what I see, because I'm on the scene, the pub doesn't get as much notoriety, exposure, attention, and just fan support like the Catholic League does, like currently. Man, yeah. When I was coming up, growing up in Norristown in the 90s, all we heard about was the pub.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way out Norristown, we going down to the pub championship, public league. Public league used to be sponsored by Nike. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, yeah. The pub was it. So explain to the people what it was like back then, man, playing in the pub championships, the amount of fans that would turn out, the venues it was played at, and, just kind of what the pub was like back then, man.
The pub was tough because, like, you played in some games, it was a possibility you might not get out there safe, it was a possibility. I was a part of one game in Southern when it was shooting inside the gym. So, I mean, I think just how passionate people was about the school and their neighborhood was a thing. I think the issue now is that it's 500 public league schools now. There's so many charter schools and everything. Like the pub, you knew the 25 schools and that was it. And then it was the Catholic League. And I just think the pub lost a lot of juice because of academically, they shut down a lot of schools. But I think it was tough in terms of playing basketball and going to certain neighborhoods, certain people you was playing against. It was real competitive back then.
Yeah. Did you have any? Was there any pull for you to, like, come on to Roman, come on to, you know what I'm saying, or was it more just the pride of staying at your neighborhood school, or you know what I mean? Like, what was it like back then?
Yeah. It was a couple schools that talked about it, but I wasn't. Yeah, I wanted to build my own legacy. Yeah, I wanted to build. Yeah, I was more for University City and my neighborhood. I ain't really want to jump on another school bandwagon.
No.
I thought that if I was going to be something, I was going to do it around my people.
No doubt. So ultimately, what were some of your accomplishments? Awards, things like that you kind of walked away from after you finished high school. And keep in mind, we always got to put things in perspective, especially for the younger viewers. There was no ESPN Top 100. There was no YouTube. We had, Street Smith magazine, like the Parade All-American stuff, you know what I'm saying, as far as accolades and stuff like that, all city awards. So what were some of your accomplishments, 1,000 points, awards you received at the end of your high school career?
Yeah, when I finished at Temple, I think I finished 3rd or 4th all time.
Oh, no, high school.
I mean, I finished high school. I'm sorry, I ain't mean Temple.
Yep.
When I finished University City, I was, I think, 3rd or 4th all-time leading scorer in Philadelphia history, behind Gene Banks, Will Chamberlain. Maybe I was 3rd. I'm not sure. So I finished over 1,700 points, which was a big accomplishment because University City never played in. We never played in a Christmas games or extra tournaments. We just played in the public league, and that was it. I played 20 games a year. I never played extra games. We never traveled and played anywhere else. Maybe one time we did, but I was player of the year my senior year. First team All State, first team All City. Got the Markwood Award, which is a big accomplishment. It's an award they have Wilt Chamberlain names and everybody get Player of the Year in Philly. Yeah, I think that's all. I was top 20 in the country going into Temple. I was a 5-star recruit if they had 5-star back then. Or how
Yeah. So if the ESPN thing was going on, you would have been like ranked, ESPN
Yeah.
top 20 players.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Was voted the #1 guard up at ABCD camp.
Stay there for a second. Mm-hmm. Tell the younger generation, talk to the viewers about the ABCD camp, man, how legendary that used to be, man.
Yeah, that's how I actually got my name and my buzz, and that's why Temple actually start recruiting me. You know what I mean? Because I went up against Chauncey Billups and played pretty well.
Wow.
Went up against Marbury and did pretty well. Shamgar Wells, these are the people that was there. Deron Murphy, the Garnetts and everybody. They
was all there at the same time.
Yeah, these was everybody that was there. Yeah.
No. Wait. One question. All right. See now, we got social media. 93, 94, 95. There was no social media. There was no YouTube.
Yeah.
In order to find out about a guy way in California or Florida or down south, it was either word of mouth or you picked up a Street Smith magazine or something if you could get that. But you may not have necessarily known who Kevin Garnett was when you got there, or you may not have known who Chauncey Billups was when you got there. So, what was that like, man?
I mean, back then I really didn't care. I really wasn't worried about names or nothing like that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It was just ballers. It was just players.
Exactly. Afterwards, you'll hear him. He's #1 in the country. He this that.
I guess my mindset is, I appreciate you saying that, because now kids get so caught up in, oh man, Diggo such and such. I seen his YouTube highlights. He's this, he's that. He goes to this school, and then they may get on the court and have a game where you who is, don't even show out. But back then, a guy would show out and they earned your respect in the moment.
Yeah.
And then it was what's that guy name? Oh, his name is Kevin Garnett. He's from Chicago. Oh, he's awesome. You know what I'm saying? They showed you. And another thing I want to say, sorry to get sidetracked, but back then, when somebody said, they go Chauncey Billups, he's going D1. Or they go RASHEED BROKENBOROUGH, he's going D1. D1 meant something.
Yeah.
It meant something back then.
It did.
And when you seen them play, it made sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and it's so crazy because everybody who came up in my era, actually, they picked the right school for the right reasons. You talk about Mike Jordan. He picked the right school. He played there for 4 years at Howard Brown. He picked the right school. All the people that everybody who came, they picked the right school. You have all these kids, they go to school and they transfer, they leave, they go there for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I talk to Temple about. If I'm going to, I'm playing, I had them conversations when I picked a school.
That's funny, man. I appreciate that. Hey, one thing I wanted to go back to real quick when you was talking about the Public League Championship, did it bother you guys in Philly that the Public League Championship was it, and then the rest of the state was going to the state tournament and then up to Hershey and all that for the state tournament? Did that ever? What was you guys' perspective on that, or was it just the pub chip? That's the that's the NBA championship, and that's all we care about.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I really didn't understand why the pub was left out that playing against the other top teams in the state. I really didn't understand it back then, but I definitely would have been. That's something I definitely would have loved to be a part of, playing against Catholic League schools. I never played against a Catholic League school. I never played against an Interact school, so I would have loved to play against that different competition.
Imagine, back then, University City versus Pottstown. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
In the state tournament, playing at Reading High School. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When did they change that?
Say again?
When did they change that? When was the How,
I remember it because it came later. I remember it was a big thing. I can't. I'll do some research. It had to be in the O somethings. I remember, hearing, publicly, they're letting Philadelphia schools in the PIAA, tournament. I'll find out. I'm not exactly sure when, but, within the last like 10, 15 years, it definitely happened. But yeah, crazy. Crazy. Hey, let's talk about, you briefly touched on AAU. What AAU programs did you play with, and who were some of your teammates? And some tournaments, y'all, some memorable experiences.
so
And one thing real quick, I sorry to keep cutting you off.
yeah.
But to be another thing that was different, if you was on an AAU team, you were legit. They just wasn't couldn't anybody just get on no AAU team. Like AAU teams was like hush hush. If you even found out about one, you was legit. But go ahead.
I played with a guy named Tommy Flacco. Flacco, how I got on the AAU team was a little different. He came to University City to see Andre Howard. He needed a big guy for his AAU team. So
was that associated with Flacco's, like the store?
He passed away right now. I don't know if they got a store now.
Okay, it was a store called Flacco's, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think he's from where that's at?
Like out in the suburbs somewhere, like a sneaker store, athletic store.
He's from out there in the suburbs.
Yeah. Possibly. Yeah, but go ahead.
So he came to see Andre Howard, and then he seen me play. I had a good game. He said, "You want to play AAU?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll play it." Yeah. Over the summer, we travel and all this. He took us to Italy. We went to Sardinia, Italy. We didn't go to Vegas. He took us to Italy. It was me, Mike Jordan. I think Mike put the picture up. Howard Brown, Joe Brown, Lynn. Lynn came in 9th grade.
What?
Lynn cared. Yeah, we played against professional team. It was the greatest trip ever, man.
Wait a minute. Wait, man. Wait a minute.
Sardinia.
Wait. You didn't just say that.
Yeah.
Y'all went to Italy. But besides that, though, it was you, Lynn,
Mike Jordan,
Howard Brown,
Dre Howard, Joe Brown. We had a guy named Glendon Alexander play on our AAU team too. He was pretty good. We all went to Italy. It was the greatest trip ever.
What? That was a bomb squad, and y'all went. That's crazy, man.
So we end up going to Italy instead of going to Vegas. So I never played in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, we traveled. We went to we played in Indiana. We went to all the tournaments, but that was that was our team right there.
Yeah. What was the name of the team? What was the name of the team?
Oh man, I forgot the name of the team.
Mike Jordan, if you're on here, shout. What's the team name? Mike Jordan. MJ's on here. He's listening.
What is it?
Did y'all have T-shirts, jerseys? Do you remember?
We had jerseys, everything. Yeah, we had jerseys, everything.
No doubt. Do you remember? Can you recall some of the players? Like where later on in life he's like, oh man, that was he went to the league. I played against him in AAU or anything like any memorable players you played against on the circuit you remember?
Yeah, everybody was on the circuit I ran to at the ABCD camp. But yeah, it was like the Sham guy. We was at Purdue. I played against Sham guy. I played against Derek Hood. Dang. But mostly memorable was the New York guys because just playing against them and just how they handle the ball and everything. Yeah, that was like the most memorable players that I thought was really good.
Yeah. Speaking of New York guys, were there any times where did you ever go up to New York like during the summer, like a coach took you up to New York to play in some tournaments or any playground stuff up in New York, or no? Can you recall any of that?
I never went up in New York and played. No.
Okay. Never like went up to a little Philly, New York thing or nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people don't understand. Like after Temple, my career, no one knows what I did overseas. Only the people I ran into. Like Mo Green, no, because I ran into Mo over there. Mike Jordan, we play on the same team. Like the guys from overseas, no, because I've been over there. But I never played summer league. Like when my first year playing the summer league, I seen a guy get hurt and he couldn't go back overseas. That was it. I never.
It's like I'm good.
It was overseas, and then I worked out with Howie Evans sometimes. Like he do some structured workouts, like 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s. But summer league, I never played them. I never did. It wasn't worth it.
I know that's right. It's like, I'm a professional. This is my livelihood. This is my
not
brand.
doing it. I want to do it. Nope. And but after Temple, no one seen me play. Like, I mean, ran to me overseas, but I would never play in summer league. It was too much to get hurt.
One thing I want to talk about before we talk about Temple, let's talk about the Donofrio Classic, that legendary tournament up in Conshohocken. Did you play in the Donofrio?
Yeah, I got busy up there. I got real busy up there.
Come on, talk about it. Talk about it.
I played with Flacco too. I played with Flacco too. Dang, I think that we win. I probably got. I remember a couple games over 30+ points. I think me and Howard Brown went at it. Got busy against each other up there, and but I think we did really good. I don't know if we won a championship or finished second, but I had several games over 30+ up there.
What do you? I mean, people. That tournament is still the same. The gym's the same, but they renovated the gym. But remember, it was a stage. It was tight. It was no bleachers. Yeah, it was like.
It was bright in there. It was real bright. It was
like the yellowish orange lights. You know what I mean? And you would look over in the corner and see Jimmy Boeheim. That's changed. You would see the D1 coaches up in that little tight gym, man.
Yeah, that was a great tournament. Yep.
Yes, sir. Let's talk. Look, tell me about the whole. You briefly touched on the college recruitment as far as how when Temple saw you maybe at the ABCD camp and this and that. Tell me about the whole college recruitment process. Period. Like some of the other schools that was recruiting you, and then what led you to choosing Temple.
Yeah. Temple sent me. I mean, this is what a head coach that was recruiting me said. Assistant coach with Temple was like, "Yeah, who was that guy? Do you even know who that is?" And the guy from Temple, I knew who I was. And the coach was saying like, "Yo, he's from Philly. Like he's played
like that's your area. How don't you know that's your guy?"
Yeah, because like I said, a lot of people scoring 30. I went to University City. It's not a basketball school. It's not a school. Coaches come and see a lot of people play. But my recruitment blew up after that. After the ABCD camp, and my selection was very, very limited because I was Proposition 48. Okay. I didn't pass SAT. So, but on my list, I had Syracuse. I had Kansas was the school I was going to go to next. If I didn't go to Temple, I was going to go to Kansas. They recruited me heavy. It was Syracuse, Pitt, Kansas, Temple, St. Joe's, LaSalle. Of course, all the schools that was able to take Proposition 48. UMass, and my grandma wouldn't let me go nowhere else. Like she, once she met Coach Chaney and they was talking about pig feet and chitlins, and because she's from the South, it was she wouldn't even sit in visits. Like when the house visit, she would stay in the kitchen, only Temple. I said, "You got to sit out here, like they trying to set." She said, "I want you to go to that damn Temple. I want you to go nowhere else." She wouldn't let me. It was embarrassed. She wouldn't sit no visits, only Temple.
So when the coaches came to talk, it was just like Grandma was sitting in the other room.
She would stay in the kitchen. When you walk in the house, the living room, then back in the kitchen. She will not sit with no other coach. It was embarrassing. She won't do it. Only Chaney. Chaney came in first. Once he put his blueprint down, it was over. Like she won't do it.
She made it known that she ain't want to build a relationship with nobody else except
but Chaney. That was it.
You said that was embarrassing, Grandma.
Yeah, because like that, you got to these. They was flying from all over. Then
they want to meet your family.
Exactly, and you just can tell me about basketball. The parents, you want to sell the academics and all that. She would not.
Hardcore.
And then known for they known for taking Prop 48. I know Eddie was a prop, Aaron was a prop. I know guys like that was Prop 48. So in terms of me being Prop 48, that was the best school for me to go to. Yeah.
Had your grades not been an issue, or SAT not been an issue, do you think that you would have chosen somewhere else, or you would have still chosen Temple, or it would have been Kansas, or what do you think? Like if there were no restraints on you?
I think Temple was the best school for me, probably not basketball wise, because of it was slow. We scored 45, 50 points. I mean, we played slow. We always went back in zone, so it slowed the game up. But in terms of like my development and becoming a man, I think that was way more valuable to me, the lessons I learned there, than a basketball part. So it probably would have still been Temple. But basketball-wise, I don't think that was like we was a match. You know what I mean? If I can go up and down, run the floor, you know, be more of a combo, that would have probably worked out for me somewhere else.
Got you. So tell me briefly about your Temple experience.
It was great. I mean, my first year I was Prop 48. I was roommate with Rick Brunson, who was a lefty who actually taught me like how to work. Brunson, but he worked hard, man. He worked hard, and no one liked Rick. Like Rick is known for being an asshole, and he liked that though. And like, how can you be friends with this guy, man? Rick was like, I love him. That's my guy, man. But he taught me a lot. You know what I mean? How to work at 12 midnight. Like, yo, we out. And then he left my freshman year. And that's when he started his playing career. But people don't know Rick gave up basketball. He just wanted to finish a degree and coach.
Oh, wow.
And people don't know Leon Rose was Rick was his first client when he got into being an agent. Rick Brunson was his first client.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I learned a lot as a freshman sitting out, like how to work and, you know, in terms of using value of my time. Because back then when you was prop, you couldn't practice with the team. All you can do is I play intramurals. You could do that. You can go look at practice. You couldn't travel. You couldn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you pretty much was a student and you was by yourself. You couldn't do nothing with it. Wow. So, yeah, my sophomore year is my year when I was finally able to play. And that actually was my best year out of the 3 years. You know what I mean? My first 5 or 6 games, I averaged 25, 26 points. Wow. Yeah, first year. I started out real well. I played with Mark Jackson, who was an NBA player. But my first year was like more just like a learning curve, trying to understand Chaney, because Chaney was rough, man. Chaney was different, man. Chaney called you every name in the book. Yeah, I mean, he never gave you a compliment. Yeah, I mean, your best games, he chews you up. That's what he did. Yeah.
But, were you used to that, and how did you deal with that type of pressure? Was that a shock to you? Like, were you confused? Did you not understand that type of communication, like from a father figure? You know,
I didn't figure it out until my senior year what he was doing. This kid, he said, "Man, you're the worst basketball player I ever had, man. You can go back and kick your high school coach in the ass because he ain't teach you shit." You know? He said, "You fucking terrible, man. Like what the?" And then I start thinking, like, hold up. I'm starting every game. I'm playing 40 minutes, and I'm not. And we have people come. We had Lynn. We had Pep. We had people come in. I'm still Watley. Like he said, I'm still playing the whole game. Like, hold up, I can't.
He said, I can't be that bad.
Yeah, and he always tell you like, yeah, if you can deal with me, and how tough I'm going to make it on you, then I know you're gonna be all right when you leave Temple. You're gonna be able to develop into a man. But he was mad all the time, man. He cussed you out every time he cussed you out. You got to a point where you just had there, all right, coach. You're right, coach. Yeah. Like, real. But one thing about Chaney, you had the green light. When he gave you the green light to shoot, long as you're in turn, if you came over half court and shot it, he wouldn't say nothing. Never say nothing about a bad shot. Never say nothing. He didn't care about bad shots. You could take any shot you want. For real, he cared about turnovers. Like the more possessions you have, the more chances you have to win. Yeah. And you notice, like when you land, you go there, you got the green light, like you can shoot. It's not about he give it to certain people. Yeah. And one thing I loved about that, because that was his strategy. You know what I mean? He wasn't worried about what kind of shots you took.
No doubt.
Yeah. So then my sophomore year was a good year. We made it to the tournament. We lost to Minnesota in the second round, or the first round, I think. They had Bobby Jackson, Sam Jacobson. They had a couple pros and a big man, I forgot. And then my junior year, that's when we had a whole lot of people come in my junior year. We had Lynn, we had Malik. I don't know if Karcher was there that year, or he maybe came the next year. But then, like, as I was the only recruit, when I came in my sophomore year, I was the only person they had. We had like 4 or 5 people that came in after that. Okay. Yeah. Lamont Barnes, Julian Dunkley. We have a lot of people that came in after that. And that was a great team. That was a great year. Pepe came in. And that was a team that was special. I think we lost in the second round that year too. but we thought we could win that game. Yeah. And then my senior year, we all came back, and I think we was ranked as high as fourth or fifth in the nation. Yeah. We opened up the Lear Core Center, the brand new arena against Fresno State. We beat them by 30. They had Chris Herron. They had Rayford Alston.
Wow.
They had Skip. They had a couple other people, and we ended up beating them by 30. Opening up that, we beat Michigan State was ranked, I think, number 1, number 2 in the country. We ended up beating them, but we just had a solid all-around team with some good players, and I finished my career losing the final Elite 8 to Duke.
Okay.
We lost to Duke in the Elite 8, and they had 7 pros.
And who are the names that were on that Duke team that you?
Avery Johnson. William Avery was their point guard. He went first round. They had Shane Battier. They had Elton Brand. They had Trajan Langdon, all pros, and they had Corey Maggette, who even came off the bench. Corey Maggette, I think they ended up winning that or lost to Rippenham. They've already lost to Connecticut 99 that year.
Got you. Hey, shout out to my little bro, Khalif Wyatt, fellow TU alumni.
He can go.
And MJ said, that's I was thinking as well. That Michigan State team was Mateen Cleaves.
Yeah, Cleaves.
Yeah. And then MJ said, then y'all came to the Palestra and had to face MJ. That's what he said.
They beat us. They beat us. Penn beat us. I think it's the first time ever in history. He got beat too. Yeah.
No doubt. Hey, I want to mention 2 things real quick before we continue. I think Instagram gives me an hour on the live. So what I'm gonna do is I think it's about 7 minutes left. When it gets around 2 minutes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this one, exit out, and then save that one to my story, and then I'm gonna start a brand new one. Then just rejoin me.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah. So we're almost done though, and then also want to let the people know as soon as we get done with our questions and our conversation, I'm gonna open it up for a quick Q&A from the people. Just let the people ask you some questions. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So talk about your. So this is the big, not question mark, but for a lot of people who may not have seen, the internet wasn't popping like the huddle and YouTube, all that kind of stuff as far as live streaming and all that. Yeah. Tell the people about your professional career that they may not even have heard much about after Temple.
Yeah. So after Temple,
listen, I did some research, which was a great. Very successful professional career. Tons of championships you've been a part of. MVPs. But talk about your success overseas as a professional.
So my first year I played in the IBL. I was in Mitchell, South Dakota. We stayed in hotels. We caught buses everywhere. It was minus 10 degrees. It was cold. Reggie Williams was my coach that played for Georgetown, played in the league, and then he left because he couldn't deal with it. Marcus Liberty too. He ended up being my coach. And once I was in South Dakota, I said, I know I can play overseas. It was the worst experience ever. It was terrible. It was terrible. Mike Miller actually from there. Mike Miller is from Mitchell, South Dakota. That paid for the heat and everything. Yeah. But after that, that's when I started my journey. I just told my agent I just want to get overseas and just whatever, just play. So I played in Austria. My first 3 years I was in Austria, and I won 3 championships, 3 MVPs. So I figured it was nothing left for me to do in that country. And people on here tell you, I went from Austria to Spain, the ABC. It's hard to get in Spain. You know what I mean? It's hard, especially from Austria. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on a tryout there. They had two guys that played in the NBA, Dickie Simpkins, and they had 2 big guys, and Derek Austin, I think. They had 2 guys that played in the NBA, made the tryout, and ended up playing in Spain for 8 months. Went from Spain to Latvia. I went to Latvia. That's what Kristaps Porzingis. He's from Latvia. Yeah. Uh-huh. So I went to Latvia, and actually Mike Jordan was on my team for about a month or 2.
Wow.
Yeah, he was so in love with Germany, he just want to go back in Germany. He left and went back to Germany.
No doubt.
Yeah, we won championships over there in Latvia. After that, I went to Turkey, which is a great country. And people don't understand, like the atmosphere in Europe, and guys on here tell you, in Europe, the coaches getting hit in the head with batteries, you get spit at, hawk spit on while you're taking the ball out. And
What?
you can't, yeah, like Greece, Turkey, Asmo, like you have to run out the gym like it's no shaking hands, like because they soccer fans. Like a lot of them is hostile. Yeah, people get spit on, get hit with batteries. It's that's how it is over there. And
What?
yeah, so we had to play 4 games with no crowd.
Wow.
Because the fans got banned.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, I know I'm very well aware of the soccer fans, like the hooligans, like the gangs, and how it gets crazy. But
so a lot of them represent the name. You know what I mean? If you got the name of your soccer team, they're not really basketball fans.
Wow.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Hostile environments.
Yeah.
Bro, I did not know that. I didn't realize that, man. I did not realize those were some of the possibly, some of the conditions that you had to come, play against.
Yeah, and that's what I ran into Mo Green. I ran into him over in Turkey.
Yeah.
And I knew him, but I didn't know that he knew about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all love, respect. And he got busy. He got busy over there. I think he just retired, man.
He just did. Listen, and he can still go. He still play like he 18.
No, he had unbelievable shape. Yeah, I ran the Mo Green over there, man. And
did you run into John Linehan? Because you guys were all over, around the same time from Chester at all, or no?
No, I thought Mo was Linehan, though. He was pressing up. But no, I ain't running the Linehan. Yeah. No, I ain't running the Linehan over there.
Okay.
I spent a lot of years in France.
Okay.
But I running the Linehan.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Actually, I went to Israel, too. I was in Israel for a minute. After Turkey, I went to Italy. Yeah. So when I went over there after Turkey, I went to Italy, and that was a great experience. That's one of the top leagues over there. And then I mean, overseas you learn a lot because when you used to being like the number one option and being a star, over there will humble you real fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you've never been the best player over. Like for real, like you can average 30 points and y'all losing, that sends you home. Oh, the American's selfish. You shoot all the time. You get sent home. That's
just like that. Like just like
you
get the contract, like you out.
Yeah, you getting yours, but we not winning. You know what I mean? You can average 4 points and your team winning every game. You're doing well. They love you. So you got to really pick and choose how to play over there. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm American. Let me go over there and score 40. No, it ain't like that. Yeah, it's different. So I learned how to all right, I know this team, I'm gonna have to probably be a defender. This team, you know what I mean? Sometimes my agent sold me as a point guard. He said, oh yeah, I got this guy. You go in there and you like, yo, you think you gonna be a 2? You at the point. I had to make a lot of adjustments with over there, and I'm real proud about my career because I did 13 years over there and I never got cut. I never got sent home, and I always got all my money over there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's hard to do. It's hard to go over there now because they'll cut you for nothing.
Here, time out. They giving me the little countdown. What we're gonna do is we're gonna one funny thing we got to pick up with talking about that. And then Mark Green said he also had to run out the gym in Turkey too.
It's wild over there. It's wild over there.
Yo, listen, wait, hold on. Listen, everybody that's tuned in, you're tuned in for a classic. My man RASHEED Brokenborough. Instagram just gave me the countdown. I'm gonna exit the live, save it to my story so it's still there, so I go to YouTube, and we're gonna jump right back in. All right, so within 5 seconds, I'm gonna end it and then jump back in. Send me another request. Right. We're just gonna do it all over real quick.
All right, cool.
All right. Hey, we back. It's your boy Big Star. Sorry it took me a second. Just had to save the video. So if everybody can jump back on, man, so we can continue this classic hoop conversation with my man RASHEED Brokenborough, University City, man, Temple overseas star. The conversation has been crazy, man. Right before we, as soon as we wrap up, I'm gonna have my man, I'm gonna allow a little Q&A from the people, allow everybody to ask my man Brokenborough. Yo, we back. Got you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, so one thing that Marcus Green was just saying that was just hilarious. He said that he had to run out of the gym at in Turkey as well.
It's a true story, man. It's rough over there. It's
Brutal.
rough.
That's crazy. So I guess one of the last things that you were saying was that you were proud of yourself that you never got cut.
Yeah.
You always got paid,
Mm-hmm.
and just because people always thought, especially in the '90s, I'm going overseas. Like overseas is sweet. They love Americans. I'm guaranteed over there. You know what I'm saying? But it's an adjustment. So just talk about a little bit more about, especially educating the younger generation, anybody in high school or college is thinking about going overseas. What was like the biggest adjustment? And you already talked about it some, but what were some of the biggest adjustments? One, to just playing in other countries where you may not have understood the language, and then the overseas style of play, and then what you talked about as far as your contract not being guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything overseas was a big adjustment to me. Just the lifestyle, being around different culture, people, going over there by myself, not really with no family or anything like that, no friends, and the game, like it's physical. I mean, it's hand checks, it's fouls, it's dirty plays over there. So it ain't. I don't see nobody averaging no 30 or 40 over there. You go look at each country box score, the leading score is 16, 17 points in the top countries. So I think everything was an adjustment. Just the practicing 3 times a day, knowing you practice 3 times a day overseas. That's how to practice. Wow. Every day. Being familiar with certain coaches, like certain coaches are tougher. Like Yugoslavian coaches is a coach we all fear because they tough. Like they tough. They militant. Like how they want you to work and practice and everything. But just trying to play the right way and just play to win and not trying to worry about next year and trying to your next contract year. So I think it was adjustment all around.
Yeah. How did you focus and focus in the moment, knowing that you kind of was like kind of on thin ice. You had to play a certain way. You may have had you may get called into the office and, all right, Brokeborough, you're out of here. Like having that in the back of your mind, how do you play, man, and focus and just enjoy yourself?
It's tough. Star, I was on a team where as though we about to go out on the court. Like how you huddle up before you go on the court. We had this big guy on my team, and the coach said, he pointed to the stands. He said, "You see that guy right there? Now it's thousands of people, just one black guy there." He said, "Yo, you play bad this game, he's taking your place. You going home."
Oh my God!
They do that over there. They'll fly motherfucker in here, practice with you and all that. Then they'll choose like, all right, you going? Like, yeah, he's in right now.
Yo, that's brutal, man.
It's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah. So
overseas ain't sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I was on thin ice a couple times because we just wasn't winning. You know what I mean? And I always tell myself, if I ever get cut, I'm going out my way. I ain't getting cut. I took 3 shots. Like, that's not gonna happen. If I get cut, I'm going out with a Uzi. I make sure they send me home, but I got 20 shots up. Like, I'm not going out like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it ended up working out. You know what I mean? Ended up working out. I mean, the lifestyle is tough. I mean, everything is just basketball. Just focus on the game. Practicing three times a day, trying to find some type of, social life like that. I wasn't big on sightseeing. My days off, I ain't really go sightsee. It was just more just staying in the house. And back then we had Skype. Your computer had a number. You call the number on the computer. That was it. What I mean? People don't know social media and like Facebook and IG is, I think, 07, 08.
Yeah, somewhere fairly like I was. It definitely wasn't.
Yeah,
it's even new. Then 06, 07, 08. I mean, it was like other forms. I think Facebook was out for a while, but it wasn't jumping like it was like, what I mean, like everybody on your phone because smartphones wasn't really a thing. We just had access to. You had to get on your computer to do that stuff.
And your phone ain't work on that. I had to put my phone on vacation time. Your phone, you didn't have Wi-Fi. Your phone didn't work when you went over there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then like when you communicate with people, like it's 6 in the morning there. Like people sleep. Like the hours to talk to certain people. Holidays, I never came home. I never came home for Thanksgiving. I never came home for New Year's, Christmas. I stayed there the whole 10 months. You
No,
know what
Dre Howard said you was on Black Planet.
I mean?
MySpace.
We all was.
No,
Yeah, MySpace. Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace.
That's what they had.
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah.
That's all they had.
But
Yeah.
you had to be on your computer though, because it wasn't
Computer,
on your phone.
nothing was the TV. Only had CNN, like your computer. You watch movies, everything. Yeah, I went over there with a couple DVDs and just watched that the whole time.
No doubt.
And most of the times, your first 2 months, when you go over there, you train camp. Like, you in the mountains. You're not even where your team at or where you going to live at.
No doubt. Something you reminded me of. Okay, so that experience you had, like talking about the Yugoslavian coaches and how tough they were, and just the adversity you may have to deal with, the pressure. How much do you think playing for John Chaney prepared you for that?
Yeah, I think that prepared me a lot. But I think when you a basketball player and that's all you know is basketball, like, so your mindset a little bit different. Like, yo, if I don't do this, I don't know what else to do. Like, yo,
Yeah.
If I get, and like when you get cut or sent home, it's like a regular job. Like it goes basketball. It's on your resume. You know what I mean? It's a whole resume. Like such and such got cut for this or that. So I think just it's more than basketball. It's interacting with your teammates, your coaches. It's like most people go over there, Americans, they just stay to themselves. They go out party every night. So I think it's a certain type of professionalism you got to carry when you over there and know when to move certain ways.
Got you. Just curious, as we kind of lean toward, wrapping up, overall throughout your journey, what have you learned throughout this basketball experience, about yourself, about life, about anything?
I think I learned that I'm more than a basketball player. I got other interests, you know what I mean? And after 10 years of playing basketball, I still played another 3, but my mind, I was done with ball. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't figure out what else to do. Like, what else I'm going to do with life? So another 3 years, but I really didn't love the game. I didn't really love playing no more. Because, you know what I mean, in 13 years, I was probably home 12 months in 13 years. I leave in August, I come back in June. I leave in August, come back in June. So I think I learned a lot about, like, I got more to give. It just, putting the ball in the basket. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's
so what are some other things that you, learned about yourself after the game? Some other interests, you know what I mean, that you've kind of learned about yourself or that you've been able to tap into after basketball?
After I finished, I actually went back and got my master's degree in professional counseling. So, I think I'm more in tune with just helping kids more off the basketball court than on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm into real estate. I got a lot of properties I'm into. Them two things that more intriguing to me than anything. I'm not really when I go to basketball games, it's to support people I play with, if they coaching or if they kids. So when you see me down at the Palestra, I probably would support Lynn's son. I wanted to go see him, but I'm not really around the game that much because I'm more intrigued with other things and helping kids out in other ways.
Yeah, that's a blessing. That's what's up. One of the last questions I have for you. What's some advice? I mean, your entire story has been advice. You know what I'm saying? If it's young basketball players, I see we got, I'm not sure if you've seen, we got the young boy, Jalen Duren, the big fella from Roman Catholic. Jalen Duren joined. So if players like Jalen are on here listening or anybody else, what's some advice that you would give for some younger players watching this? Just about the game, about going about things, recruit, just anything, any advice for younger players?
Don't take this shit for granted. You're gonna blink and you're gonna be as old as me. Like this, life goes so fast. Like really, like take every moment and just work as hard as you can and don't take no plays off. Like, because you want to always have that what if moment. I had that. Like, I always say, like, Dad, what if I actually worked harder 4 years ago? Maybe I'd be in a different situation. What if I went to the gym 2 or 3 times and didn't party or stay home without, what if? So I think you really got to don't take this game for granted, man, and give it your all and play hard every moment. You know what I mean? And just be and know when it's time to take a break from the game too. You know what I mean? You got to know when to take, have time for yourself when you're away from the game as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's pretty much it, man. That they're all my questions, man. I'm gonna say my exit
Yeah,
appreciations right now. Then we're just gonna turn it over to the people. Just have some fun. Before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you so much, man, for
yeah, for
just
sure.
taking this time to sit down with me, man. Time is valuable, especially the day and the time that we're in right now. Time is so valuable. So for you to give me like an hour and a half, 2 hours of your life, just to sit in dialogue, I really appreciate that, man. That means the world to me, man. So thank you. Thank you for all you've given to the game. Thank you for all the memories, all the
Yeah,
blood, the sweat, the tears, the just thank you, man. I can't thank you enough, man. And thank you for allowing me to forever memorialize your legacy.
yeah. Well, thank you, Big Star, man, for keeping the game alive, man. You've been doing this shit for a long time, man. And what people don't understand, it's not just they link you to basketball, but you do a lot of other sports too. And you follow the females, football, everything, man, for real. Because a lot of these young guys, they don't really care about what happened in the past. Not all of them, but a couple. I mean, I had guys at Temple that played 2 or 3 years after me. I didn't even know who I was, and I know them. You know what I mean? So I make sure I watch the game, I study the game. We always did that. But that's good that you bring a lot of people back and letting them tell their story.
No doubt. I appreciate that, man. It's a blessing, man. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. So listen, the people out there, if you're watching this, if you appreciate this, man, you want to know some more about my man RASHEED Brokенborough, now is your time. Ask my man some questions. We need some questions, like 5, 10, some solid questions, however many we can get through in a couple minutes. This is your time, people. Leave some comments in the some questions for RASHEED Brokenborough in the comments section. I'm gonna start with 2. I saw a couple of your pictures on your Instagram page. I saw you down at the Public League Championship game, bro. You are in phenomenal shape on the
Yeah,
outside. It look
yeah,
can you still go like you ripped up? You got guns out the wazoo.
yeah.
Like you in the gym and you're in phenomenal shape. Like and can you still hoop? Can you still go?
Well, I don't know if I can. I mean, basketball, like, yeah, I can still shoot. I can shoot, play 2 on 2 or 3. I ain't in
Well,
basketball.
I guess it's 2 things. You look like you're physically in shape, like you're in the
Yeah.
gym. Yes.
Well, you know what, Big Star? Like now, I just work out to live. You know what I mean? When I was a basketball player, you'd be shocked how regular people work harder than us. Every time you go out, you see people running 8 miles and lifting weights and doing track work, and they just doing that to live. They not doing it for a check. And that's why I say we take it for granted. Like basketball players, not the hardest working people. Boxing people, not. It's regular people who just do this each day just to stay in shape. So that's what I really dedicated myself to, like when I stopped playing, just to make sure that I'm able to just work out each day, make it part of my routine, and just stay in shape. Because, you know what I mean? That's the last thing I want to see. Like, dang, I seen Raj 20 years later, man. He fell off, man. He got big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And another thing with this coronavirus going around, like our people are suffering because, you know what I mean, we're not eating the proper foods. We got diabetes. We got heart issues. So I think like just fitness and just being active and staying in shape, is that been like my mission since I stopped playing, just to keep working out.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we got some good questions coming in. I'm going to go to the people. Fadance 2024 wants to know, who was the toughest player that you matched up against in high school?
The toughest player. I think defensively, Rail Sills is pretty good in terms of matching up against him. But Newt Arnold was he was something else. Offensively, yeah, Rasheed Arnold, he had an unorthodox game too. You never know what was coming. But yeah, he was really good coming up.
No doubt. Oh, my man Sam from Westchester. My man Sam wants to know who's the toughest, when you talked about toughest player in the city, one of the toughest players that you remember possibly playing against overseas, somebody that was just dynamite.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm trying to see who was that. I mean, everybody was tough over there. I don't who stood out like that. Yeah, I'm going to get back to that one. I don't
Or
really.
any teammates that you had that were really good teammates, somebody that kind of sticks out over the years, somebody that you played with maybe.
Uh, I had a guy named in Italy. We had some. Yeah, Ryan Slay was on. Ryan was tough. Ryan Slay was one of my teammates that was pretty good. Mo was tough, man. I played like these guys got 30. He got 30 and 10. Like, yeah. Ryan Slay, Mike Jordan, them guys was tough over there, man. They was tough to play with, play against. They were so competitive. But like overseas, them the guys who really stood out. You know what I mean? I am really running nobody who gave you forward. Like nobody wasn't giving
Yeah,
me.
because it wasn't that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick J. Coyle said that you mentioned some of the Europeans thought of Americans as possibly being selfish. What are some other stereotypes that Europeans may have had about American players?
That's a good question. Don't play the game the right way. That's the stereotype. Just athletic, can just jump over people and just run past you. That's a lot of the stereotypes they had against us. But it comes down. A lot of times you got to understand when you're playing basketball, everybody knows each play. Everybody. So people don't understand how hard it is to score. Everybody know what you're going to do. And when somebody just still score 30 or 40 points when you know what's about to happen, that says a lot. And I think that's the advantage we had over Europeans, because when that clock went down, American players, able to go one-on-one and create for themselves.
Got you. Dre Howard 13 has a great question, or not a question, but just something he wants you to talk about. Tell him about the game you played against Stephon Marbury in Jersey. You say you think you had around 50.
Yeah, that was the Midnight Madness game, and that was and I had 48 points. What was the record there against Marbury? And Kobe actually broke it the next year. He had 50. But that was the game where it was mano. I'm going head to head with him. I never had that opportunity. And he had 20 something. I had 48. But
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and he showed a lot of respect after the game too. Yeah, I think I had a DVD too. I think I just got it like 2 weeks ago. Big Star. Yeah, I'll probably give it to you. You can have that. Man. Yeah, I got.
Man, you speaking my language. Listen. That goes to show how much we in tune. You see, I ain't even had to ask you, because you know that was gonna be my next request.
Yeah.
I ain't even had to ask you. You already knew
that was Rick.
I said it.
Yeah, Rick Barry did this thing, Midnight Madness in Jersey. It was yeah. So yeah, that's when I got invited to play over there and play against Marbury.
Dog, I need a copy of that. Done.
Oh, it was a lot of people. Nazi Muhammad, Lester Earl, and Julian Dunkley. It was a lot of players in there.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Ray, it was a lot of players in there.
So you go one-on-one with Marbury. He has 20-something. You have 48. Couple years later, you know what I'm saying, college, everybody's doing their thing. Marbury's at Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah.
You at Temple, then Marbury's NBA. And did you have moments where you're watching NBA basketball like, man, I used to kill him, or not I used to kill him from that perspective, but like that should be me over there, or I can play on that level. You know what I'm saying? I was killing them guys.
I'm probably one of the people that realized I wasn't good enough to play in the NBA. I knew that. Okay. Yeah, I think now, because they change it more to combo guards. Like you look at the NBA now, you have like C.J. McCullough and Damian Lillard, 6'3" guards. You look at Bradley Beal and John Wall. Now it's positionless. Back then, if you was a tweener or a combo guard, you know what I mean. You ain't really have a spot in the NBA back then.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you had to be 6'7".
You had to be one of the numbers, a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Exactly. Or 5. So I think in that era, I wasn't good enough to play in the NBA. I don't think so. But in terms of overseas, was like the perfect game for me. And I think Temple, I wasn't able to show a lot of my skills, like what I could do there.
Yeah.
So
in your like college prime, best shape of your life during those years. Fast forward, if you were at, coming out now, do you think that your style of play would fit more with today's NBA? Or nah,
Yeah, up and down, pick and roll, no hand check, just can get past people. I come from like I was never big when I played, but I played a physical game. Like you was allowed to like hand check and body up on people. You can't do that now. So I think with my ability to break people down and get to the basket, I think I probably would have had a better chance now than I did back then.
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate it, man. If anybody has any more questions, shoot it. But if not, I'm gonna let my man go. One of my other questions, and you actually answered it. I was gonna ask you if you had any of your old University City games on DVD that I could add, to my YouTube channel. A lot of people have been asking about the University City, your championship game, or just like some regular season games.
Yeah.
You got the Midnight Madness. I'm a guy willing I get my hands on that. But do you have any other high school games on DVD that I can get a hold of?
Big Star, I'm kind of. I don't have no games. I don't have stuff. I don't collect jersey. I don't have no jerseys from none of the teams I played on. I don't have shorts from that I played.
What you doing all your archives, man? What you doing all your stuff, man?
Never collected it. I just never did. I never had none of that. But my coach Steve Kane got all the DVDs. He got them. Yeah. So it's easy to get in contact with him and get them DVDs from University City. But I never collected stuff like that.
No doubt. Well, yep. I definitely need a connection. God willing, in the future we can make the connection so I can get some copies. And just to be able to upload that stuff to my YouTube channel, what I mean, to further, preserve your legacy and let the younger generation see how you used to do it, man, for sure. Couple more questions came in. For Dots 2024 also wanted to know where were you ranked at nationally in high school? You said you were ranked number 20 in the country.
Yeah, I had different rankings. I was hot. The highest was 12, but I was between 20 and 22. Yeah,
got you.
The lowest 23. Yeah, I went from not being ranked to top. Yeah,
got you. Interesting question. My man Sam wanted to know what was the communication like regarding language barrier with some of the teams? Like if y'all didn't speak the same language, how did y'all communicate? Well, I mean, basketball is universal. Yeah, but how did y'all communicate?
The coaches don't speak English. A lot of the players don't speak English. Usually you build relationship with a younger guy in your team. Like, they start being professional at 14 years old. So a lot of them, the younger guys on your team is in school. They actually learn in English. This was some countries, but a lot of them you'd be shocked. Like a lot of them spoke English. Certain countries, like all your teammates spoke English. But some countries, even the coach ain't speak English. Like usually like the younger players was the ones who like communicate with you.
Got you. Somebody else wanted to know regarding shooting, what was your go-to drill, regarding shooting? Did you have like a go-to drill or just, you just worked out and shot or what?
Yeah, just repetition, man. I just think just getting up a lot of shots, man, is like the best thing you can do. A lot of just getting each spot, off the dribble, one dribble, two dribble pull-ups, catch and shoot, just stuff like that.
Got you. That's pretty much it, man. Do you have anything else that you want to say that I didn't cover, or just any shout outs, man? Anything else you want to mention before we tune out?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to everybody that was tuning in. Yeah, especially all the people that I played with or played against. I see my guy Dre and Mike on here. We got a lot of funny stories from back in the day. And everybody I just played with, because a lot of these guys is part of me. I wouldn't be who I am without a lot of them guys, man. Playing with them, going through the trenches with them, and just traveling. I got a lot of memories with them guys. And we still in good contact, and we still talk to each other through social media. So just shout out to everybody that tuned in.
No doubt, man. Well, thank you again, man. I can't thank you enough. Just let everyone know, this entire interview is going to be up on my YouTube channel. So either tonight or tomorrow. So if you go to YouTube and put in Raw Sports Films, you'll go to the YouTube channel. You'll see the full interview, man. Just there. Your history is there. And for everybody to enjoy and to be educated on forever, man. It's going to be there.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. And keep in contact. I'm going to send you that those clips, those newspaper clips from the Shack, from the Ardmore League.
Yeah.
The box scores, I'm gonna send you those. I'm gonna text you the pictures of the box scores, and whenever we can in the future, sometime soon, if I can get that Midnight Madness game, so I can burn a copy of it, send it back to you, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, God bless you, man. Thank you. Bless you. And your family. Stay healthy, and I'll talk to you again soon, big dog.
All right, big star. Appreciate it, man.
My man.